Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today's lecture is about 4 skills of language learning. After completing this chapter, students will be able to understand 4 language skills, that is listening, speaking, reading and writing, and they will be able to identify and prepare the activities for developing these skills. Now the question is, what is language? Language is a divine gift of God. It is the language that distinguishes man from animals. Any language is difficult and easy. Language serves many purposes. Absence of language is mere death of communication. Language does mean a collection of words strung together in sentences, but each word having a separate identity and meaning. So, in fact, the words are brought together in special ways to give a high systematic order from which we get a meaning. According to Allen, language is a means of communication thoughts. According to O. Jesperson, language is a set of human habits, the purpose of which is to give expression to thoughts and feelings. For example, the sun is shining is not the same as is the sun shining. According to these definitions, it becomes clear that language is used to give expression to thoughts and feelings of a social group. Now, what is the English language? English is also a language used to give expression to thoughts and feelings of a social group, but it is a foreign language. No. For the teaching of English to be successful, the 4 skills reading, listening, speaking and writing should be integrated in an effective way. Listening and speaking. These 2 skills are highly interrelated and work simultaneously in real-life situations. So the integration of the two aims at fostering effective oral communication. Next one, reading and writing skills. They form a strong relationship with each other as skills. They are tools for achieving an effective written communication. Here is a diagram or chart that is describing the language skills that are in number. In 4 number: listening, speaking, reading and writing. The 4 and fundamental language skills, listening, speaking, reading and writing, may be further classified. The receptive skills are the passive skills in which listening and reading skills are included. Speaking and writing are called productive skills because while using these skills, learner use is not only active but also produce sounds in speaking and symbols, letters, etc. In writing, on the other hand, listening and reading are considered receptive skills because here a learner is generally passive and receives information either through listening or reading. This table gives a better idea for these skills. Now we will learn one by one about these skills. The first and the foremost communication skill that we learn in our lives is nothing but listening. Here is a pie chart that can describe the portion of these skills. Listening consists on 53%, reading 17%, speaking skill is consisting on 16%, and then writing comes, that is only the 14% of the learning language skill. There is a difference between hearing and listening. Hearing is simply the act of perceiving sound by the ear, while listening is an action where you choose to actively concentrate on what you hear. Hearing occurs with or without your consent, but in listening, your brain processes the information into knowledge. Listening is not the same as hearing, but hearing is not the same as listening. The listening process includes the 5 stages, that is receiving, understanding, remembering, evaluating, and responding. Listening is the first and foremost language mode that children acquire, which provides the basis for the other language arts. The activity of listening plays an important role in the process of acquiring learning language, whether it is a first or second language. In the listening process, the first step is receiving. It involves the accurate reception of sounds. It refers to response caused by sound waves stimulating the sensory receptors of the ear. It is a physical response. To hear, you must focus attention on the speaker, discriminate among sounds, and concentrate. The next stage is understanding. It is the stage at which you learn what the speaker means, the thoughts and emotional tone of the speaker. This takes into consideration the thoughts that are expressed as well as the emotional tone that accompanies these thoughts. It likewise includes establishing links between what the listener knows about the topic and the new information given by the speaker. The third stage is remembering. This is retaining messages for at least some period of time. It is important listening process because it means that as individual added message to the mind's storage bank. What you remember is actually not what was said by what you think was said. The fourth stage is evaluating. Evaluating consists of judging the message in some way. You listen from a unique point of view and are influenced by your perceptual filters, your past experience, attitudes, personal values, and predispositions. It is therefore impossible not to evaluate to some extent everything you hear. Effective listeners should deliberately reduce the influence of their own viewpoint until they have first understood the speaker's ideas. The next stage is responding. This stage is required that the receiver complete the process through verbal and non-verbal feedback, because the speaker has no other way to determine if a message has been received. This is when you send signals while the speaker is talking to let him know what he is understood, and responding after the speaker has stopped talking. This stage marks the start of a new cycle where the listener takes his turn as a speaker and starts the communication. The next language skill is speaking skill. Speaking is an act of making vocal sounds. Good speaking skill is the act of generating words that can be understood by listeners. A good speaker is clear and informative. We can say that speaking means to converse or expressing one's thoughts and feelings in spoken language. Speaking skills are the skills that give us the ability to communicate effectively. It conveys one's message or information verbally in a proper and suitable manner. It is the ability to express oneself clearly in front of the others. It is the ability to express one's ideas, feelings, and thoughts, and to give one's opinion in different point of views and in different aspects. Speaking skill also help to assure that one won't be misunderstood by those who are listening. These skills allow the speaker to convey his message in a passionate, thoughtful, and convincing manner. Here are some points that need to consider what to do for speaking and before speaking. Be an active listener, be prepared and practiced. The more you know what you want to say, the better you will get at it. First, brainstorm the topic of your speech and research it if you need to. Write down all the points you want to make and then organize them into an outline. Then practice your speech out loud at least 3 to 5 times. Structure your speech and organize your ideas logically, incorporate humor. Always consider the audience in front of you. Who are the audience in front of you to whom you are going to speak? To better you know your audience or listeners, the easier it will be to contact to them as you speak. When you are able to make that connection, you will hold their attention. Punctuate words with gestures, vary vocal pace, tone and volume. That means this main goal is the fluency. Remember that one do not have to know many complex grammatical structure to achieve that goal. First of all, try to speak as fluent as possible, even making some grammar mistakes. Then after making one speaking fluent and with equal volume and high tone and balanced speech, one can focus on grammar aspects. Give your audience something to think about as you finish up your speech. Certainly, it is a good idea to summarize your main points on one more time, but then finish up with an inspiring story or quotation with or leave them with a thought-provoking questions. Next skill of language learning is reading skill. Reading is the most important skill in English language from other language skills in acquiring the language. It involves your ability to read and understand the words, phrases and sentences and other symbols or visuals in a text. It may be for gathering information, for pleasure, for overall understanding, or sometimes for a few items of specific information. If students are good in reading, they will be good in other language skills like writing, speaking or listening. For this reason, teachers of English language should focus on this skill. Reading is a skill which enables us to get a message, recognize the written words, written symbols, understanding the meaning used to teach pronunciation, grasping information from text. Reading strategies include the four stages. Four sub-stages are included in the reading skills that is known as the reading strategies, that are skimming, scanning, intensive reading and extensive reading. Now we will discuss these strategies in detail one by one. First one is skimming. Skimming is the process that is used to quickly gather the most important information or gist. Run your eyes over the text, nothing important information. Use skimming to quick get up to speed on a current business situation. It's not essential to understand each word when you are using this strategy. Skimming is a quick reading to know the general meaning of a passage. Skimming is a more complex task than scanning because it requires the reader to organize and remember some of the information given by the author, not just to locate it. The example of skimming is the newspaper, quickly to get the general news of the day, and the magazines, quickly to discover which articles you would like to read in more detail, and further business and travel brochures, quickly to get the information. Any kind of the reading in which you want to quick information, the main points of the information, you use this technique of the reading strategy. The next one is the scanning. Scanning is a quick reading focusing on locating specific information. It is quite different from the skimming. Scanning involves quick eye movement, not necessarily linear in fashion, in which the eyes wander until the reader finds the piece of information needed. Scanning is used to find a particular piece of information. Run your eyes over the text looking for the specific piece of information you need. Use scanning on schedules, meeting plans, etc. in order to find the specific detail you require. If you see words or phrases that you don't understand, don't worry when scanning. Scanning is used when a specific piece of information is required, such as name, date, symbol, formula, or phrase that is required to learn. The example of scanning may be the words on TV section of your newspaper, a train, airplane schedule, any conference guide, etc. Next one is the intensive reading. Intensive reading is also known as reading for purpose. When you want to read for any purpose, you go for the intensive reading. It is a detailed in-class analysis led by the teacher of vocabulary and grammar points in a short passage. Intensive reading, sometimes called narrow reading, it may involve students reading selections by the same author or several texts about the same topic. For example, your whole course or your study of course can be included in the intensive reading. In this careful reading, you may find it helpful to skim first to get a general idea, but then go back to read in detail. Use a dictionary to make sure you understand all the words used. It is used to obtain a general understanding of a subject and includes reading longer text for purpose. As well as your course books are included in this. Use the examples of intensive reading may be a report, any contract, any case study, or the books and the syllabus of your course. It is used on shorter text in order to extract specific information. It includes very close, accurate reading for detail. Use intensive reading skills to grasp the detail of a specific situation. In this case, it is important that you understand each word, number, or fact of the passage, the passage and the paragraph you are going to read, and which is you are reading. The next and last one reading strategy is the extensive reading. Extensive reading is also known as reading for pleasure. Extensive reading is carried out to achieve a general understanding of a text. It occurs when students read large amount of high interest material. For example, you are reading a novel, a storybook, or any fiction, usually out of the class material, your class courses or your syllabus books, etc. The aim of extensive reading are to build reader confidence and enjoyment. Extensive reading is always done for the comprehension of main ideas, not for the specific details. It is mostly used to obtain a general understanding of a subject, and it includes reading longer text for pleasure. Use extensive reading skills to improve your general knowledge. Don't worry if you not understand the each word and the meaning of the each word, because in which the learner learn or read the passage or book or novel or any fiction or storybook for the sake of pleasure, not for the sake of purpose. And as I discussed already, that the examples of the extensive reading may involve a novel, a magazine, articles of your interest that you want to read for your pleasure, for the sake of your pleasure. Fourth and last one skill of language learning is the writing skill. Writing is one of the important skills in communication. As we know, writing skills are highly essential because to organize the needs professional writers, to meet the organizational needs and to be a professional writer, it is very important to learn about the writing skill. In any communication, writing have a very remarkable place. Good writing skills allow you to communicate your message with clarity and ease. Good writing skill. Writing is a creative skill as other skills. Proficiency comes with practice, some case in writing. There are different types of writings. The examples of writings are emails, letter and memos, free writing, essay writing, independent writing, narrative writings, and different persuasive writings that a writer want to, about which the writer want to write. Here are some principles of a good writing that a writer must know and should consider while he or she is going to write something. First principle is its purpose. First of all, you must know why you are writing. The writing process is like a building. On the skeleton of a purpose, the building is constructed. There are many purposes of writing like good news, bad news, message of inquiry, or writing a novel, writing a story, writing an article, etc. First, the writer should know the purpose of the writing about which he is going to write a passage. The next principle is use clear language. While you are writing some passage or a paragraph, you should use the sort of words you would use in conversation. Use a level of language that is accessible to your readers. It should be easy and understandable. Avoid overuse of cliches, smileys, and worn-out phrases. Writing always use short sentences so that your reader get the basic or theme point of your phrase. That it should be clear and free from difficult words. Double-barreled sentences, avoid double-barreled sentences and the ambiguous words and too much difficult vocabulary, so that the reader can enjoy your writing. The third one is be objective. Present the information objectively. Your conclusions should arise logically from the information presented and be based on the facts and evidence you have collected, rather than your own opinion of what you would like to happen. So always be objective when you are writing some passage. The next one is structure. A clear beginning should be there. Your writing should a clear beginning, starting point, then middle, and then it should include an ending point and end of the writing. It is more challenging to understand the chain of thought in written communication than when it is expressed verbally. The blueprint of your thoughts in your mind will decide the structure of your writing. So always before writing you should organize your thoughts before you are going to write. Number 4 is the choice of words. Always choose the comprehensive, useful words. The words that you use determine your style. Your writing could be easy and based on simple words so that your readers gets the main point. Your writing could be easy and based on simple words so that your reader can get the main point of your writing. Words can convey positive, negative, strong and weak messages depending on what you choose to express yourself. So always be conscious about choosing the word. Next one is the punctuation. Your writing piece should be punctuated. It's have a larger effect. Punctuation have a larger effect on your writing. In speaking, we won't need to have any commas, full stop, question mark, etc. But if you don't use the commas, full stops, question marks, exclamation marks, etc., the punctuation words in your writing, then it is not easy to understandable. In your writing phrase, the reader can get difficulty to read and understand. So always use punctuation while you are writing something. A writer should have a best knowledge to use these things. He should always know the use of punctuation marks. Always be careful about using the punctuation marks in your writing. Next, grammatical correct. Your writing should be free from grammatical errors and grammatical mistakes. In writing, grammar have a larger effect. If you're in any writing, grammar have a larger effect. If you write correct grammar, the reader understand your context easily. The reader can understand easily what the message the writer want to convey in through his writing. Next one is the proofread. Proofread as many times as it is required to get it perfect. These things help send out errors all the time. After you finish the writing, read and reread and check for types and grammar error, etc. for typos and grammar errors. Once you have finished the writing, leave it for a while, for 1 hour, 2 hours, 1 day, or for more time. Then again read your passage, read your writing, so that you can identify the writing errors in your writing. Last one is the style. Style is the main every writer on his own style. An easy style has a quick impact. The message should be understood on first reading. So always consider the style you are going to adopt while you are writing. It should be impressive, easy to understand, and clear to read, and should have a greater and should leave the greater effect on the reader's mind. So always consider these principles when you are going to write something, so that your writing may be easy to understand or attractive for the reader. This is about the 4 language skills: listening, writing, reading, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. These all are the main points about these languages. I hope it is easy to understand for you people, and you will be able to understand the basic principles of the language learning skills. Thank you.